So one of the most common gripes that I've heard here on the internet against Makoto from Persona 5 is that people don't like her Confidant route, her little side story, if you will. They think that it's poorly written, they think that it's the worst out of all the Phantom Thieves, and they just use that as an excuse for why they don't like the character. Now the thing is, I don't really care. Like, if you don't like the character, that's your prerogative. I know that's kind of lost in the whole scheme of the whole internet culture thing, but you're allowed to like and dislike things. I'm not gonna rag on you for not liking something, and I don't think you should rag on me for the opposite. But if you're gonna be coming at me with facts and well thought out arguments to prove your case, then I'm going to take the opportunity to tell you why you are wrong. So today, we are going to look at Makoto's Confidant, as well as some of the other Confidants in Persona 5, and I think by the end of it, we'll see that I'm right, mostly because this is my video. This is going to be mostly unscripted. Excuse the black and white of everything. It's the only mode that made my camera look good. Taylor's the one with the good camera, not me. So it's going to be off the cuff. I'm probably going to ramble. I'm probably going to stutter, but that's what editing's for. So, let's get into it. Now, just for a little refresher, just in case you're watching this video for some reason you don't know what the hell Persona 5 is, it is probably one of the top 3 best-selling JRPGs in the past 5 years. I don't think that's wrong to say. It's insanely popular. It's arguably the most mainstream the series has ever been, and naturally that has resulted in a divided and very toxic fan base. And this is on all sides. Fans of the game for the past, like longtime fans are toxic, new fans are toxic. It's just how it is. That's kind of the beast of the whole concept of fandom, and I'm not gonna I don't like judging the game for that, but with that, there's a lot of discourse, there's a lot of conversation, and like I said at the top of the video, usually I don't care, but the Makoto video, mind you, a video I spent talking about why I personally like the character. I didn't call her the best character. I didn't call it why you should like Makoto. All I titled it was why Makoto is my favorite character in Persona 5, and naturally that invited a bunch of people to be like, you're fucking wrong, she's trash, because internet. And normally that's fine. I don't take down comments. I've taken down 2 comments in my entire time of being here on YouTube as an itty bitty channel, mind you, very, very low on the totem pole of YouTube channels. Like, if there's a bottom, we're pretty close to it, but we have fun. I've deleted 2 comments, and one was because of racist language, and the other one was because it threatened the character, a fictional character, with real violence. And this is weird, so I took it down. So I don't shy away from negative comments. They don't upset me. They don't even affect me. I just don't spend my day thinking about that kind of stuff. But when it's the same type of comment, and this video's been out for a couple of years now at this point, and the game's been out for, 4 years, pretty much at this point. And it's the same conversation round and round. And nobody, to my knowledge, I've really seen talk about it on YouTube. Again, far from the leading voice of the Persona YouTubing community. I am one of the few who hasn't been canceled yet. But I haven't really seen this get talked about, except for in Twitter mentions, fanfiction comments, Tumblr. Is Tumblr still a thing? I don't know. That kind of shit. But it's this idea that this is like number 1 that people throw at you, throw at me, for why they don't like Makoto, is because they don't like her Confidant route. Now, the Confidant route is, Persona 5, there's a social aspect to it. So not only are you playing, great JRPG action turn-based combat, on your off days you spend time with your friends, other NPCs, and you get to know these characters, right? They're like little side plots. There's 10 ranks, and you level them up. Makoto's Confidant deals with a subplot involving her classmate Aiko. I think it's Aiko? Maybe it's Aiko. I don't know. Aiko. Who is more or less a impressionable young girl who is in some trouble, whether she realizes it or not. Makoto, her character, is the student council president, so she takes it upon herself to take care of matters like this. Not only in an effort to kind of rehab her reputation, but just because it's what she wants to do and it's the justice she believes in, which is a recurring theme in the whole game. So that's the crux of it, and people don't like it because in their minds the Confidant spends more time with Eito, exploring Eito, and it's like the Eito show, and Makoto is like a fucking bystander in their minds, I guess, or she's like sidetracked, or really she's not the main focus of it. So people use this as an excuse to explain why she's poorly written, and also, you know, character bad because writing no good, even though, you know, writing quality is a subjective concept, but don't say that here on the internet. So I guess the big question is the Confidant bad? No, it's not. Is it amazing? At times, in parts. But again, I've played this game like, I shit you not, 5 times. So I can only see a storyline so many times before I stop getting excited over it. But I still appreciate it. And honestly, I find the whole argument kind of dumb. Because, like, here's the thing. All of the Confidants deal with another character. I just displays into my little notes I got here. So, Ryuji has a little side plot where he's worried about Takao and the track team. An has Shiho, and Mika, her rival character. Sojiro has Futaba's deadbeat uncle. Futaba has Kana. Is it Kana or Hana? Kana-chan. Yusuke has Kawanabe. So on, so forth. All of these routes deal with the character basically filling the role that Joker, the main character, filled for them. Like, Joker's whole thing with them is that he helps them discover things about themselves, and he helps them solve problems around themselves. It's vague, I know, but I'm assuming most of you play the game, so you understand this. And in the Confidant, you get to kind of see these characters act in that sort of way. So let's unpack this whole argument. So they think that Eiko takes up too much of the focus. I went back and I watched these Confidants on YouTube. So Eiko shows up in about 4.5 of the 10 scenarios in Makoto's Confidant. And then she's alluded to, and she is the driving force for much of Makoto's plot. I'll admit that. That's not a bad thing. So what I find really weird with this whole argument is that it kind of implies that every other Confidant is this amazing example of storytelling, and Makoto's is the worst of it. And it's not. The little arcade kid is the worst. No offense, he's cool, but it's just not the most interesting. Like, I'm sorry. But the thing is, they all follow the same formula. Really. The writing in Persona 5 is not what makes it great. It's not bad writing. It's not why it's been successful, and it's not its defining feature. What defines Persona 5 and the reason it's successful is the characters, which is separate than the writing. It's a part of the writing, but it's not as like one-to-one as people like to think it is. It's because the characters, and it's because of their design. It's because of the game's world design. It's because of the game's production. It's because of the UI, the menu system. That's why this game is so acclaimed. And the characters are why the people who love this game, the characters and the music is why people kind of wave the flag for this thing. For those who don't, is because they don't relate to the characters. Which is a thing that's going to happen till the end of time, guys. Like, not every character is going to grab you the same way. You know, and people like to think that that's a failure of writing when that happens, when really it's your personal taste. It's the same way with the friends you keep. and stuff like that. So to me, that argument is weird, that this is the worst one, and it's because of the writing. When the scenarios are all following a pattern. So for the first couple scenarios, you're getting to know the character in a better way. Whether it's Makoto, Yusuke, An, Futaba. That's what the first couple are about. And then towards the middle, you see hints of an inciting incident that will make up their subplot, but nothing really happens at first. It's just a little tease. And, the focus is still building the friendship. And then towards the end, those last, I'd say, 4 ranks on the Confidant is all about the little subplot. For Makoto, it's about helping out Eiko. For Yusuke, it's about proving Kawanabe wrong in the art contest. For An, it's finding a way to kind of... She doesn't really want to beat Mika, but she wants to kind of understand the situation and then also kind of repair her relationship with Shiho. Ryuji is all about helping out the Trek team. It's like, guys, there's a formula here. They follow it. They all do it. Because it's a big-ass game. You don't got time to do too much, even though it's a long-ass game that's like hundreds of hours long. Like, you will run out of time to do stuff, even when you have that much time to begin with. And it's... Makoto's Confidant does everything that the ones you guys like does. It explores her character. It expands your understanding of her character. You learn more about her insecurities, her fears, and then you get to kind of see her strengths in action, right? Because that's kind of the end game for these confidants, is that you see their defining trait result in some form of victory for them, whether it's moral or otherwise. Like Futaba gets to repair and reconnect with her old kindergarten friend because of her skills, her hacking skills, and her growth with social skills. Yusuke gets over his art slump and gets into the contest and also figure out why Kawanabe was doing the thing he was doing. And then Makoto, she gets to help out Eiko and repair that friendship and then learn more about herself. And if you choose, you get to start a romance with her. It's all the same language, guys. Because it's not a bad confidant. And that's not the issue. The issue is you guys just don't like her, which is fine. And I get it. Like, part of this is not a problem you guys started. Some of the problem is the people who like Makoto are like, well, why don't you like her? When really, don't give a shit. Like, you like her, right? And that's okay. That's all you need to know. Like, here's the secret. Like, someone else disliking something you like will not affect your understanding of the property, and it will not affect your relationship with it. We like to act like that's how it works, but it's not. We just kind of let our own insecurities and our anxieties cloud our judgment, and then that's how we get into these useless arguments that have no merit. So I understand it, that you guys need a reason to explain why you don't like her. And some of it is just the whole thought experiment of the internet, the whole thing that we're all critics now, which is not a bad thing. And, this is someone who's done video essays on YouTube. But I will say that I do think that we're kind of losing the point here a little bit, where it's like, it should be all in fun. And I'm not saying that all these comments aren't in fun. That's why I don't take them down, because I can't read the context, because it's text. So I leave it where it is. It doesn't hurt me, and it doesn't hurt the character in most cases. But, like I said at the top, if you dare come at me, and I'm someone who has a very small background in shit like debate, and really it's just more so that I'm just so used to talking shit in my own life, if you're gonna send me some, I'm gonna show you why you're wrong. I can't tell you how many times people haven't come to me correct in the comments, and I had to set them straight, man. And all in good fun. I try not to. Again, we don't have a big audience. We can't afford to do shit like that. Now, mind you, this is not a very in-depth, legal defense of Makoto's Confidant. I could have done that. I could have scripted it out and edited something together, be like a Phoenix Wright type case, but I I didn't want to do that. Number one, because I'm lazy. But number two, I didn't want to talk too long about this topic. Because I think it's really fucking simple. Like, your reasoning, and I don't mean to keep saying you, but you know, the colloquial you. Your reasoning for why this Confidant sucks is kind of weak, man. Like, it's flimsy as hell. It's not going to take me that long to dissect it, because you're saying it's literally just that it's garbage because it focused. Here's a comment: it focused 80% on Aiko, which is mathematically incorrect. She appears in less than half of the Confidant physically, and while they talk about her when she's not there, sometimes the focus very quickly shifts from Aiko to Makoto's inward struggles. It's more focused on why she feels this way, why the situation upsets her, and then you learn some backstory. You learn about her dad, you learn about her sister. How is that different than the stuff about Aiko? Like, why does no one talk about that? Why does no one talk about that Takemi is spending most of her time worried about this sick girl who we don't even see? She's off screen. Like, a lot of this, same thing with Oya. Her character is off screen. There's so many NPCs who are important to the main cast that are just off screen that you don't fucking see, and nobody talks about that. Nobody has an issue with that. You know why people have an issue with Makoto? Because she's the most popular of the cast. And it's like, you know, I'm older now and I've been playing this game for so long that while she's still my favorite, I don't like put her above the other characters. I just love spending time with the whole ensemble. Like, I make fun of Ryuji a lot, but I love him to death. You know, I like spending time with Futaba, Yusuke. So I get it, but it's like you're acting like that. Ooh, here, I'm gonna own this video. Watch this. You know, look what I said. And it's like, bud, it's weak. It's weak. It's soft. And it's incredibly easy to disprove. I've already been talking more in this video than I wanted to. This video is gonna be close to like 20 minutes, and I don't want it to be that long. Or maybe it won't be, I don't know, editing. And I'm starting to go around in circles, but it's just, maybe one day I'll do a more in-depth video. I'll do like a whole little like legal, you ever seen Defend It on The Completionist, one of my favorite channels on YouTube? Like, maybe that'd be a good format for that, but I'm just talking too much now. So in review, Makoto's Confidant is just as fine as every other Confidant in the game. I'm not going to say that it's amazing or that it's underrated or whatever, but I am going to say that it does everything else that every other Confidant does. It does feel like on first glance that it doesn't focus on her that much, but that's just because her character is a little more understated than the other characters. Like Ryuji and An are more outgoing characters, so even though their story focuses on like NPCs, it doesn't feel like it because of how big their personalities are. Futaba has a very distinct personality. Haru shows up really late to the game, so it doesn't really matter. And then Yusuke has his own quirks as well. And then Makoto isn't really that quirky, except for like her little like, oh, I'm afraid of the dark, and she likes the little plushy stuff. But her character is a little more quiet compared to the other ones, kind of like Joker. So when you see her react to the story, it kind of feels like she's not the focus. Does that make sense? Because she's like, the way she deals with the situation is diametrically different than the way An does. So it kind of feels like she's not doing much. Right. But underneath the hood, there's a lot of insecurities. I've said that word like 5 times in this video. But there's a lot going on with her own kind of trauma. And all these characters have trauma. That's the whole point. You're seeing them work through it. And naturally, the internet is a place where we say, fuck you, when it comes to that kind of stuff. So anyway, I hope this makes sense. I've been rambling a lot, but I hope you got the gist of what I was saying. Just want to do a little quick thing. God knows how long this is. I'm sure this isn't the end of it. I'm sure if we did any comments, it's going to be talking about why I'm wrong. But go ahead, because maybe I'll make another one and I will fucking write it out for you about why I am right. But at the end of the day, the cool thing about this whole little experience is that you can believe what you want to believe, and I can do the same. I'm not going to stop you from writing comments, so go right ahead and do it as long as you're having fun with it. And the best part is, I don't really have to give a shit.